Thanks for tuning into today's video, guys. Today's going to discuss auto loans, and this is going to be a follow-up video for the DCU video I actually made about a year ago, where I managed to get a 1.2% interest rate over 6 years for the Tesla that I had purchased, but obviously that's not really possible anymore. And I'm going to walk you guys through today's rates and how you can get the lowest possible rate when getting a Tesla, or really any vehicle, but electric vehicles do definitely help in getting the lowest rate possible. So if you guys are interested in that kind of content, please consider subscribing, and let's get into this video. For those of you that are new to this channel, I'm referring to a video I made about a year ago where I got a 1.24% interest rate, as you can see here, from Direct Credit Union. And although that's not really possible today, it's important to note that credit unions are technically nonprofit. So you'll generally get lower rates through credit unions versus bigger banks. So when we look at Tesla's rates, for example, you can see 5.34% is their floor, meaning they will not go lower than that. But about a year ago when I made that other video, there was a loophole in that Tesla had a rate match program. What that means is you could have went to any other bank. You could have got a loan, theoretically, and Tesla would match whatever rate that bank had. So at the time, Tesla's floor was about 2.5%, as you can see in this video, and I wasn't too satisfied with that. So I went to DCU. They were offering that 1.24% interest rate promotion, and Tesla matched it through Wells Fargo, which again is a bigger bank, and I was able to secure that loan for 6 years. But today, that's not possible anymore because Tesla terminated that rate match program, which is fine because you don't really need to finance through Tesla because they technically use third-party banks. It's not coming from Tesla. So we see their floor is 5.34% today. That is very high, and it's only going to continue to rise as the Fed continues to raise rates. Now, as you can see in this video, this is proof that I managed to secure that 1.24% interest rate about a year ago. And I feel bad because people are watching this video today and that rate does not reflect today's rates. So let's take a look at a bigger bank like Bank of America. You can see their quote unquote floor is about 5.2%, obviously depending on the length of the loan. Typically, if you do a shorter duration in loan, you'll be able to secure a lower rate. So just be careful when you see banks advertising, oh, you can get a 3% interest rate, blah, 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 but that might be over the span of 2 years or 1 year, and no one really finances cars for that short of a time unless you have that kind of money. In today's market, I would definitely recommend putting the biggest down payment possible, just because you don't want to get screwed by interest, though you could refinance down the line, but that would probably be in a year or two when the markets correct themselves. You can see generally for auto loans, if you can get anything lower than 6% in today's market, that is pretty good. 7% and higher is common, but it's something you want to avoid at all costs. And you can see Bank of America 5.2%. And these banks, will have different promotions. You have to read the fine print. Here, they're suggesting that if you have this much money in your bank account that you open with them, which is a considerable amount, $50,000, $100,000, $1 million, whatever, they will be able to offer you a lower rate overall. So generally, it seems as though you can get 0.25% discounted from that 5.2%, bringing you just below 5% for that rate. But me personally, I don't like to work with bigger banks because bigger banks have more leverage over you, and a lot of times they will try to screw you. But that's just from my experience. You look at US Bank, this is a 7.4% APR. This is what they're advertising, which is kind of screwed up, meaning that most loans are probably going to be a little higher than that. And you go here to the credit unions, California Credit Union, over 72 months, you're seeing something in the 5 to 6% range. Obviously, it depends on your credit. You need to have good credit in order for you to qualify for anything I mentioned in this video. But we get to DCU. Direct Credit Union is my bank of interest because they are a really great bank to work with. Again, it's a credit union, so they're technically non-profit. They're super friendly. They're super responsive. All you really have to do is create an account with them. You don't need to have a minimum amount in your bank. I know there's incentives for using your checking account to make payments for your auto loan, and that could possibly provide you incentives via lowering the rate. These are all things that can be negotiated with them. But you can see they're advertising their quote unquote floor as 5.24%. Now, if you register through my referral code in the description below, you'll be able to get it into the 4% range, which is very uncommon in today's market. Not to mention, it's a really good bank to work with, as I had said earlier, and it's not like the bigger banks that at their disclosure will just close your account whenever and, I just don't have a great experience with the bigger banks. So my recommendation would be to go through a direct credit union. And again, you can see all these discounts that they offer, especially for an energy efficient vehicle, which I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you probably have an energy efficient vehicle. And you can see that this 5.24% rate, which again will get discounted if you use that referral code down in the description below, will get you below 4% for up to 65 months, which is pretty good. I've seen most other banks offer rates similar, but it's probably only for 2 or 3 years. After that, those rates just go up a lot, and that's not something that you guys really want to do. So going into the next year, you know that there's going to be a lot of incentives for getting electric cars. You know you're going to have that $7,500 tax credit, more or less, starting in January of 2023, amongst other state benefits. I would definitely recommend waiting till January or beyond that. Basically, wait till next year if you want to get an electric car and an auto loan. I think you might want to secure the auto loan today, just because I think rates are going to continue to go up. And these loans that you generally get from a bank will last 60 days before you have to take another hit on your credit. So with that said, guys, I would definitely recommend DCU. There are definitely other banks out there that might offer a more competitive rate. But for me personally, I don't like to work with these smaller anonymous banks just because you can't really trust them. A lot of times there's a lot of stuff in the fine print that will end up biting you in the butt later on. But you know, credit unions and bigger banks have generally good reputations, but I would say credit unions have the best reputation because they are nonprofit and they're not trying to capitalize on you at the end of the day, like the bigger banks and the smaller banks. So with that said, guys, the referral code for this DCU membership loophole, I guess you could say, is going to be in the description below. And let me know if you have any comments, questions, or concerns. If you guys want a step-by-step process of how to apply for an auto loan, please refer to my old DCU video. I'll put in the link below. And that basically showed you from like A to Z, exactly everything you need, how to go through the process. The only difference is that the rates back then were different, but everything else would technically be the same. All you have to do is use a referral code down in the description below to make your account. Beyond that, you just check out the video that I'm linking down below and you'll be good. So if you guys like this video, please leave a comment. If you have questions, which you probably will, I'll be here to answer them. And I hope you guys can get a super low interest rate for whatever car it is that you're interested in. Hopefully it's a Tesla, but if not, completely understand. So the way I went about it is I did this over the phone. You can do it online through your portal, but I did it through the phone. And ultimately, you'll call them, you'll say you want an auto loan, you'll tell them the car and all that. And the only documentation they asked me for was the MVPA. So here we are, Motor Vehicle Purchase Agreement. This document can be found on Tesla's website when you go over and click your reservation number. I believe it's on the right-hand side of the page. And this is very important because it has your VIN number, and obviously it shows the cost of the vehicle. So it'll help the bank figure out, or basically solidify the loan. And so this is only available to you once you get the VIN. There's like an MV, like motor vehicle like order agreement or something like that, but it doesn't have a VIN on it, and that won't work. So it needs to be an MVPA. And that's why I said wait for the VIN, or wait till you're getting close, because the account itself takes about like 3 to 5 days to sort of register the DCU account, and then the loan itself took me maybe like 2 days to get, more just like processing on their end. So yeah. So let's say we've applied for the loan and you know you've uploaded your MVPA and boom, you got your 1.24%. What does it look like? So this is the document that I was sent, and I'm just going to prove it to you guys. 2021 Tesla Model 3. As you can see, I did this very recently, so the rates are still low. And so the amount financed, I asked them to finance the full amount, but I'm assuming you could say like, oh, I want to put down this amount, whatever, to adjust this number. But the term needs to be 65 months. That's important. And as we scroll down here and look at all this stuff, 1.24% interest rate. This is not Photoshop. This is real. And yeah, if you guys are interested in my payments or whatnot, not really relevant. But basically, here we are. We got the 1.24%. How do we proceed? You can proceed and just use DCU as the bank that you want to take the loan from. If they're a smaller bank, I'm sure it'll help them a lot. Or what most people are doing to get like the longer term, to get the 72 months, is rate matching through Tesla. So what you would do now is you'd have to apply for a loan through Tesla. You could do it through your portal. It's very easy. You could probably get accepted within a day, and Tesla will inevitably give you the 2.5% rate, which is their floor. So it's definitely a good rate, don't get me wrong. The lower the better, right? So as you can see on their website, 2.49%. I got 2.49%. Most people get 2.49%, but that's their floor. Now what they'll do is they'll do something called rate matching. So you can shop around at different banks, and in this case, DCU offered 1.24% on my loan. So all I did was submitted that document to Tesla through their rate match program, and the email will be in the description as well as the steps if this video came out as confusing, but it's ratematch@tesla.com. So you want to send your official loan document to Tesla, and they'll obviously rate match it within like 1 to 2 days, and boom, I ended up getting 1.24% on a 72-month loan just doing this. So I think to summarize this, you need a DCU referral. You're going to need to apply for 2 loans technically, one through Tesla, even though you're not really using that one, but you just have to do it anyways. You need to obviously apply through DCU, and that's how you'll get this 1.24% rate. You got to choose 65 months. Tesla will rate match it to 72 months. I guess that's about it. If you guys have any sort of questions or concerns, please leave a comment. I'll try to summarize everything in the description of this video to make it super clear, because I don't think there's any videos on how to get this rate. There are maybe a few Reddit threads, but yes, I'd be glad to sort of refer anyone who needs a referral. Just leave a comment, to like, whatever, and I'll try to get back to you guys. That's it.